Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and I want to talk about Vecna Eve of Ruin. Brand new Dungeons & Dragons canon hardback. Before we go a step further, robust spoilers for the entirety of the Vecna Eve of Ruin book, the D&D canon hardback. I don't have one cheat conversations. Here we go. All right. So first of all, let's celebrate. This is a really big deal. Every Dungeons & Dragons canon hardback is a really big deal. It is the heart of every dungeon master. It is the heartbeat of every dungeon master. It really is the heartbeat of every dragon master. This is really critical for us to understand the importance of, and it's really a wonderful, very special thing. And I'm very excited about Vecna Eve of Ruin, and I don't take a single Dungeons & Dragons canon hardback for granted, and you shouldn't either, because do not forget for 1 second. And I think this is a great, I don't want to talk about this every day. I don't want to get you scared, but don't you ever forget, there are people always coming to take Dungeons & Dragons away from us. It happens every few decades. The first one was 1983. The evangelical Christian zealots came and tried to take Dungeons & Dragons away from everybody. And in 2023, and they both said the same words. They said D&D be gone. They said D&D be gone in 1983, and they said D&D be gone in 2023. First, it was evangelical Christian zealots. Second, it was agnostic zealots who were like, and both of them wanted to burn books. In 1983, you had to burn your physical book. In 2023, you had to burn your digital book. Right? But make no mistake, you're talking horrible, terrible, repressive, restrictive zealots coming to destroy Dungeons & Dragons. And I'm here, I'm standing on the wall and telling you, it ain't going away. Our Dungeons & Dragons is always under threat, and we can never let our guard down, right? And we celebrate the freedom we have to read, own, buy, participate in Dungeons & Dragons, collect, build Dungeons & Dragons, what do? We read, we buy, we read, we collect, we build, we participate in Dungeons & Dragons. We live in the key of D&D, right? And we need to make sure we don't let anybody take that away from us. Evangelical Christian zealots came to take it away from us, and then agnostic zealots came to take it away from us. Don't ever forget. Agnostic and atheist zealots. It's always religious, in my humble opinion, right? But two different groups, two different reasons saying D&D be gone. Destroy Dungeons & Dragons forever, burn books. Same message. Don't forget. Do not forget. I will not forget. I will never stop talking about this until they put me in a blind box. Right, because I don't want people to be surprised the next time some fool rolls up and says you're not allowed to do Dungeons & Dragons. Keeps happening. All right, thank you. All right, let's talk about D&D Vecna Eve of Ruin. So the biggest thing here, I would say the biggest thing in the book is what it says about settings. And what it's saying is that Dungeons & Dragons settings are extremely valuable, but not all Dungeons & Dragons settings are extremely valuable. Just specific ones, right? And it's the start of the list. It's the start of the list of settings that matter, right? And I think they're going to add to this, but trust and believe, there's also going to be there are settings that are being left out in the cold. It's the Conan meme where he's looking in the window and can't get in, right? Darksign is never going to get back in. Oriental Adventures is never going to get back in, right? It's my take, right? But let's talk about the settings that are here. So the Rod of 7 Pieces, hugely important, and this is the entire point: is Dungeons & Dragons is going back over 5 decades and saying this is ours, this is important, this is Dungeons & Dragons. The Rod of 7 Pieces is a extremely classic piece of equipment, right? And you spend this entire book getting the Rod of 7 Pieces in 7 realms. Let's talk them through, right? And we could see a split among the realms. So what is the split? All right, so first of all, core, okay? What are the core realms of Dungeons and Dragons. They are Forgotten Realms and Greyhawk in that order. Okay, and the reality is, I think they're keeping a distinction, and they're keeping Greyhawk distinct for people who are smart enough to know the difference and are paying it, not smart enough, who care enough to know the difference. For everybody else, Greyhawk will get merged into Forgotten Realms. Okay, Ed Greenwood, Gary Gygax, those are your two creators there. You forget Blackmore, David Arneson's been forgotten. Forget his settings, right? David Arneson is not honored in David Arneson. I really don't think you really see David Arneson really very much honored at all. Like he's I think he's being forgotten because he wasn't willing to risk, he wasn't willing to deliver for Dungeons and Dragons. He really didn't have a significant impact, in my humble opinion, right? And I think you're seeing that. Like the Lego, the new Lego set, the official Dungeons and Dragons Lego set, specifically lists Gary Gygax. That's powerful. That's, it honors him directly in the product. That's powerful. It's really fascinating, right? So, so where do you find the parts of the Rod of Seven Pieces? Forgotten Realms and Greyhawk. Okay, the next two are really interesting. The next two are not realms, right? They're spanners, right? They're spanners. They span realms. They span multiple realms. The first one is Spelljammer. Spelljammer is the astral plane, the astral sea, and by the way, the astral plane and the astral sea are directly connected to Strixhaven, right? Strixhaven has access to the astral plane and the astral sea. That is made extremely clear in the book, right? Which means that anything that can get to anything that Spelljammer can get to Strixhaven. Once you're at Strixhaven, well, Liliana will take you the rest of the way. Anything in my humble opinion, to anything with mountains, plains, islands, forests, and swamps. Done and done. Okay? You getting the connection there? All right. So basically, so these are spanners, right? Spelljammer and Planescape. Planescape connects to no less, I think, 16 gate towns to 16 different planes, right? Huge, right? And then last, you have three very specific realms, all right? Dragonlance, Eberron, right? And these are powerful, important. Oh, and Ravenloft, Dragonlance, Eberron, hugely important, right? And saying in 2014 that these are important from in the 2014 era, and they will be important in the Infinite era. And so the biggest thing is the Rod of Seven Pieces is literally being used in this book, right, to define exactly what the most powerful, prominent settings in Dungeons and Dragons are right now. And those are Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, the Spanners, Spelljammer, and Planescape, and three core realms, right? And those realms are Ravenloft, Eberron, and Dragonlance. And I'm gonna do Dragonlance, Eberron, red, Ravenloft, Eberron, and Dragonlance, right? And so it's really, and so I'm super thrilled to be looking at the beginning of Vecna, Eve of Ruin. Have you started reading Vecna, Eve of Ruin? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this epic Dungeons and Dragons canon hardback. Our heartbeat. If you're a dungeon master, your heart beats again today. If you're a dragon master, your heart beats again today. Right? This is the heartbeat. The Dungeons and Dragons canon hardback is the heartbeat of every dungeon master, every dragon master. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. I'm looking forward to hearing yours.